True Sky, Sagittarius, welcome. Welcome to your reading for the month of July. So currently we do have the Sun in True Sky Gemini still until around the 17th of this month. Then it will move into True Sky Cancer. So for the transit of the Sun through the sign of True Sky Gemini, I've chosen decks that have like a fairy tale like theme for that transit. So the first deck I'm using for you is the Mystic Fairy Tarot here. And on the bottom of the deck here, we have the Two of Swords. So this month, potential indecision or needing to make decisions. There'll be a lot, I think, of decisions this month. This is the underlying energy here. So, however, interesting alignment of cards we have for you. It looks like quite an interesting month for you. I think it is quite a crucial month for you, Sagittarius, because we do have that Gemini transit at the moment. So that Gemini is your opposite sign generally. So, and we do have not only the Sun in Gemini, but we also have Mercury in Gemini, which is retrograde for most of this month. So I do feel like that Two of Swords on the bottom of the deck has a bit of that energy there. And then we also do have at least another Swords card in this main spread here. And then obviously later in the month when it moves into Cancer, True Sky Cancer, you do have at least one water cup here. But you do have three major arcana cards in a line, which I find quite interesting as well. So the first card here we have for you is the Four of Wands. So this signifies that this month, home, all that is home and family and stability in your life is really important to you. Being the first card coming out, it's definitely got that real strong flavor of the month here. And that is next to your crowning card. So the Nine of Cups is that wish card. It's about wishes coming true and happiness. It's like that overflowing, abundant kind of energy. And having that as your crowning card for the month is such a beautiful energy. So I see this as being like a really positive month so far. Then, however, we do have the Death card. So there is going to be the ending of something this month. Something really significant is going to change in your life. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is actually linked here with the Four of Wands. It's also linked with the Five of Swords here and our central card, the Eight of Pentacles. So we have two Pentacle cards together. So there will be, by the looks of it, quite an abundance of resources and potential finances here. And the Ten of Pentacles with the Four of Wands is quite a nice energy. So there'll be not only enough, satisfying energy when it comes to the Pentacles or the resources or your money, but it's also connected with your home. So that is a really lovely energy as well. However, your central card being the Eight is more about this month will be a significant month for you in learning, and especially stuff that you have already been working on. So you will be progressing in areas that you've already been working on. So maybe there's some business you've been working on, or some kind of study like an apprenticeship, or even a new job, or something that you've been working on previously that you will be adding onto this month. Then you have the Star card. So the Star card is all about wishes. So what is it that you want to manifest in your life at this time? And then we do have that Star card connected not only with this potential new learning mastery, self-mastery experience here, but then we do have it with the Death and also the World. So having these two cards, which are really significant for the Death, is more about endings, while the World card does have that completion energy to it. So it is also an ending, but it's also like an opening to a new stage in your life. So potentially these wishes could be very much about this new incoming energy, and also the closing up of this old energy as well. Then you have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is a conflict card. It does have a bit of harsh energy to it. So it can have an energy where, you know, there's been not a great situation, some kind of defeat or surrender kind of energies, and that there's been like a walking away period. And also you do feel like you need to stand up for yourself. There is a sense of victory in doing that. However, there can be some negative energies here, like bullying and aggression and, you know, things like that. But there is this feeling here that you are like overcoming that. So that is interesting, because I think we do have that Mercury retrograde in Gemini this month, which could very easily be opposing your Sagittarius placements. And obviously Sagittarius is a fire sign, and it's that mutable fire. So they are often very open and like to give their opinions, like to you know what I mean? So and then the Gemini energy is very mental and very mercurial. So I could see some of that playing out there, like you know, kind of argumentative energies. And this being at the bottom here, to me, suggests that it is more nearing the end of the month, the kind of middle to late, when this energy is more apparent. Mercury does go out of retrograde, however, on the 23rd of July. So not all of the month has the retrograde, but most of it. Then for the base of the matter, you have the Knave of Wands. And so the Knave of Wands is like your Page of Wands. And it can symbolize a child. It doesn't have to, but if they would be like, say, up to 18 years, and they're of the fire signs, potentially fire houses or ruling fire planets predominant in their chart. And they are linked here with this potential work, study opportunity that is occurring this month, and then also linked with this happiness and this optimism going on as well. So the last card we have, once again, is the World card. So there is some kind of completion occurring this month. There's a wrapping up, and it's a successful one as well. So it's actually a really positive kind of ending for you this month. The next cards I'm going to clarify with for you are the Victorian Fairy Tarot. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Summer. So this is like your 10 of Cups. So to clarify the 2 of Swords, you have a 10 of Cups, which is actually a really positive clarification there. So yeah, even though there may be some indecisiveness or a lot of decision making needing to be had this month, or a lot of thinking about different options, and maybe even vacillating between different choices, the 10 of Cups is actually emotionally fulfillment. So emotional satisfaction and fulfillment in this process of, you know, what decision you're going to make, what decision you need to make, you know, your options, all this kind of energy. So it'll be quite enjoyable for you to do that. So then to clarify the 4 of Wands, we have the 5 of Spring. So this is like your 5 of Wands, which does indicate conflict. So there's some kind of conflict in your home situation, your family, and your stability at the moment. It could be that, you know, you are literally fighting with family members, or it could be that you are having to deal with conflicts within your home potentially, that's creating, you know, challenges. For the 9 of Cups, we actually have the 10 of Autumn. So this is like your 10 of Pentacles, which is interesting because we've already had this card come up. So it's the second time we've had the Ten of Pentacles. So I'm guessing this month is going to be quite a good month financially for you. There will be a satisfying energy in the finances and in that stability resource sector of your life. You will have, you know, plenty to go around. And obviously this will contribute to your happiness and your optimism in your life at this time, because this is the crowning card for you for the month. So it's all about like your mind and also your spirit and that kind of energy, the higher energies. Then for the Death card, we do have the Herald of Spring. So this is like your Page of Wands. So this situation that's ending could involve a child of the fire signs or houses or significant ruling planets in fire. Or it could be an aspect of yourself. So there could be some new passions in your life. And those passions may even fizzle out quickly, or they might even inspire you to end a certain situation in your life. Then for the Ten of Pentacles that we initially had, you do have the Five of Winter. So once again, this is the Five of Swords. So we've had this one twice now too. So these are quite significant. We do have the doubling of the Ten of Pentacles and the doubling of the Five of Swords. So this was that conflict card, which it has quite a self-defensive energy to it. And it does have also like not the most positive energy. Like it does have even potentially like self-sabotaging behavior, underhanded behavior. You know, it has that aggression to it as well. And even like potentially like bullying or intimidation, abuse, you know, that kind of thing. But however, you do feel strong enough to stand up for yourself, and you will have a victory in that, in fighting back. So that's a positive there. But yeah, because it's for this Ten of Pentacles, it's giving me the feeling that you may have this abundance of resources. You may have this stability and satisfaction, but there's some kind of conflict here. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. It could be linked to your home, because you had the conflict in your home as well. Maybe potentially it's even about, you know, whether to, you know, invest in a certain thing or not, or, you know, maybe you want to sell your home or not, or, you know, like it could be decisions around what it is you're wanting to do with this Pentacles and this home, because there's a lot of conflict there. So this could even be very much linked in with all the indecisive energy and the decision making. That's, you know, kind of that underlying energy of the deck with the Two of Swords. Then for this Eight of Pentacles, so this is this new venture you're working on, which isn't new. It's something you've already been working on for a while, but there's like a new stage in it. You've got the Vicar. So the Vicar is like your Hierophant card. So there could be someone in some kind of authority that you're seeking counsel from at this time. You may need the advice of someone like already learned in whatever it is you're trying to pursue at this time. So definitely, if you do need that, seek that out, because it looks like it's going to really help you in the progression of whatever it is you're working on. Then for the Star card, you do have the Ace of Summer, which is like your Ace of Cups. So all these wishes and all these kind of hopes and wishes energy that you have going on here is linked now with this Ace of Cups energy. So maybe you are looking for some kind of emotional like satisfaction, some kind of emotional new beginning, some kind of sustenance here that, you know, quenches your thirst. So potentially it could be a love offer coming in, maybe one that you've even wished for and hoped for. So something positive there. Or it could be maybe you even offering your cup to someone else, but it can indicate that energy. Or it could be like a new project that brings you emotional, you know, satisfaction, like new emotional opportunities. Then for the Five of Swords, you have the Ace of Autumn. So this is like your Ace of Pentacles. So this was that conflict card initially that we did have here. And it's saying that, you know, at least you did have the energy to keep fighting. It may have been not the greatest situation that you were in, but what is coming from it, or at least is linked to it, is this new financial opportunity. So, you know, things may have not gone the way that maybe you wanted them to, or like there's been some kind of conflict here. I can't exactly say for you what it has been, but it is linked to this money situation with this Ten of Pentacles, and also this Knave of Wands, which was like the potentially new passion projects. But yeah, you will be receiving some kind of financial opportunity linked to this, some kind of new resources. Then to clarify the Knight, not the Knight, it's actually the Knave, which is the Page of Wands. You have the Five of Autumn. So this is a really different energy to the other. So the Autumn is the Pentacles. However, we've had the Tens, we've had the Eight, we've had the Ace. The Five is quite different. The Five is more about a lack of resources and finances, and so much so that you feel really quite impoverished, and there's a real feeling of scarcity. So because this is the base of the matter here, I'm not sure if this new passion project, which you've got here, has resulted in maybe some overspending or, you know, miscalculating your funds or something like that, but you are feeling really quite hard done by here. And you can see in the background that there's this group of others that are very abundant and very happy. So the advice here is to look outside of yourself for help. So there may be some kind of help in your community to get you through this hard time. Definitely in the outside world, there is, you know, this abundance that you can maybe get help from. And then for the world, you have the King of Autumn. So we have another pentacle card here, which is the King. So interesting. Potentially this new love offer, even if it is a friendship or a business relationship, it doesn't have to be love. It's some kind of nourishment. Could definitely involve a King of Pentacles. And so this King is very abundant. He has lots of resources, more than he needs. He's like the master of his domain, very stable, very, you know, grounded, not very emotional or even intellectual, more of a like salt of the earth kind of character. But they could come in as this cycle is closing, and actually there could be like a sense of nourishment here. They may even be linked to this. They could be, or not. Maybe there is someone, the person you go to advice for may know them, or there's some link there with that energy as well. And they might even see that you're struggling, and they might try and offer you some help. So maybe it could even be like a financial advisor, or I'm not sure, because this Eight of Pentacles is more to do with like study and that kind of thing. So it could be, I wouldn't say generally like a teacher. I mean, the King of Autumn to me is almost more like a farmer, or, you know, someone with assets. Yeah. So the next cards I'm going to pull from are the magical messages from the fairies. And on the bottom of the deck, we have pregnancy. The birth of a child brings great blessings to you and the world. So this doesn't have to be you that has this child, but it could be someone in your life, could be someone in your family, could be a friend, you know. But there's some child, there's some pregnancy here that actually is going to bring a lot of blessings into your world, which is really lovely. You have actually, your crowning card is the Get Some Exercise card. So obviously exercise is really important for everyone, and every, you know, and any time really. I mean, not when you're resting, but yeah. So As your body becomes stronger, you begin to feel stronger in all ways. But this is linked to this happiness and this abundance of resources. So potentially even that abundance of resources could even be your body, like just that you have a good, strong foundation. Yeah, obviously exercise will really help maintain that. So then for the central card, you have the affirmations card. So to lift up your thoughts and energy and to attract what you desire, use positive affirmations. So that's a really interesting. So you could write them down, or like just read them, repeat them, hang them up on the wall, maybe sing them, or, there's something with affirmations that will be really positive for you at this time. And it is linked to this authority figure and the new situation you have at the moment with the study and, that mastery of your skills. Express your individuality. So this is the base of the matter. Allow your true self to shine because you're awesome. So obviously that's a really relevant to you. So this is for the Knave of Wands, so the new passion projects, with that lack of resources to maybe implement them. So still use your individuality. So even if you are feeling quite pinched, you're not feeling like that expansive, there are ways that you can allow yourself to be that expansive energy. It doesn't have to be about your resources. The next cards I'm going to clarify with are the Fairies Oracle, and on the bottom of the deck we have Epona's Wild Daughter. So the shadow energies for the month are inner shadows, nightmare, depression, madness, and growth. Epona's Wild Daughter, Dorsha, is the Sphinx whose riddles must be answered lest we otherwise be destroyed by our own internal conflicts. Dorsha reminds us that we cannot go forward until we have faced something buried within us that is holding us back. Her presence in a reading tells us that finding and working through this is a task of some urgency. We can expect help in this from other people, from the fairies, and from our dreams. But we must be open to these difficult questions and answers and be ready to face things about ourselves that we are not as we would wish them to be. She urges us to heal the unresolved issues about who we really are and what we really want to be. This is part of the required course in Self-Transformation 101 that we are all enrolled here on planet Earth. The answers to her riddles often come in a sudden burst of enlightenment, like the solution to a Zen cone. We may watch a leaf fall or catch a glimpse of the tiny sliver of the new moon in the sky and suddenly be hit by the answer. Before that happens, we usually work long and hard upon the question, searching and digging for an answer. The realization when we really have it will be transformative. We will no longer be the people that we once were. You don't like this interpretation? Well, I have been telling you all along that you and I and everyone else will receive varying messages from the fairies in the cards. Yours may well differ from mine. Ask Dorsha what message she has for you. And don't be surprised if her answer is another question or riddle. She and I both wish you well solving it with all our hearts. So that's the underlying energy. So riddles. So there might be like a lot of even synchronicity and that kind of energy this month for you. The first card, however, we have Owl Parrot. Fluff the Fluter and Solace. Okay, so the crowning card for you, Arvel Parrot. His message is communication. Look how he's pointing to the throat chakra. How interesting. Clear communications are vitally important here. Strive for verbal brilliance. Listen carefully. Be articulate. Be willing to calmly debate the issues and explore ideas with others. Open communication will enhance the chances of success all around. Arvel also suggests that the querent watch for body language, incomplete sentences, and unfinished thoughts, and try to discover what these signals are meant to get across. Wow, so this is linked to the exercise too. Get some exercise. So it might really help to clear your mind. I know it does for me, exercise. However, this card is really making me think of that Gemini energy, and especially the Mercury retrograde in Gemini as well. So obviously when Mercury is in retrograde, we do have to be really careful about what we say and all that. You know, all the Mercury realm is a little bit dysfunctional. The central card for you, however, is Fluff the Fluter and his energies are about being real, earthing, grounding, and centering. So breathe, ground, center. Maintain or recover sanity by staying earthed. Do this now. Important information is coming your way, but you can only receive it properly if your feet are on terra firma and your head is well connected to the rest of your body. And that's linked with the affirmations here. Then we have Solace. So his energy is knowledge, consciousness, synthesis, and spiritual empowerment. So Solace is radiant, energizing, vitalizing. The presence in a reading often indicates that something new is being brought into being in our lives, partly through our own efforts and partly through the help we are receiving from other realms. Miracles may take place. Movement to the light is occurring. This is a time for taking action, passing on our blessings and learning, and for service given from a position of strength. So this is linked to the expressing your individuality card. So the next cards I actually have here are the Fairy Ring Oracle cards. And on the bottom of the deck for you, we have Selkie, the 9 of Autumn. Selkie indicates the ability to adapt to any situation and any environment. Her lesson is a balanced approach and the need for fluidity, movement, and good coordination. So she sounds like quite a blessing, really. Your first card, however, is the Fairy Festival Samhain. Your central card is the Fairy Festival Ostara. 2 Fairy Festival cards. And the base of the matter is the Fairy Festival Yule. So that's a lot of fairy energy for you, which is definitely interesting. As you know, we have that Gemini transit here with I've used the fairy decks because to me Gemini is a very fairy-like sign, you know, being ruled by Mercury, and it's an air sign. However, here in Australia, we actually have our Litha, or the fairy festival, like the summer solstice, Litha, in the time when Sagittarius is predominant. So it's actually interesting, like Sagittarius is also linked with the fairies as well. So it's interesting you got 3 fairy festival cards here. So the crowning card for you is the Samhain or Samhain card, which does represent powerful forces at work, leading to endings, change, the completion of a cycle, dissolution, and winding down. It may also mean ancestral contact, family or tribal ties, clairvoyance, and mediumship. So that's so interesting because the cards, the main tarot cards of the first deck, either side, we have the 4 of Wands, which is about like home and family, and we have Death, which is like that change, so almost like unites those energies there, the Samhain. Then the central card, being Ostara, symbolizes dawning creativity, emergence, an inpouring of energy and ideas, versatility, dexterity, idealism, and individuality. An idea or situation begins to crystallize and take form. So that kind of makes sense too, because obviously we had the base of the matter card here was to do with the 8 of Pentacles, which is like, it's a fair way along the process. You know, it's really at that point where you're really getting good at whatever it is you're doing. You might need some more education, but, you know, it's so close to, say, a 10, which is that completion, which we already had to there. So you've obviously completed some things. You've got that energy there as well. However, the base of the matter card for the month is the Yule Fairy Festival, Yule. So it heralds powerful currents of birth, rebirth, the recovery of vitality and health, illumination, enlightenment, revelation, and a change of consciousness. So wow, that's about like the new beginning energy, rebirth. So this Solace character is really helping with that as well. And then the last cards I have for you for the month of July, Sagittarius, are the Lenormands. And on the bottom of the deck, we do have the house. So there's an underlying energy to do with home, like your house or a house. There's something to do here that's underlying. And then we have the key, the fox, and the garden. Okay. So the house and the key states that there's a conflict between tradition versus more, you know, new or progressive modern things. And there's revelations about family. So having the fox with the house has the energy of suspicion about untraditional things and selfishness in family issues. So these are things that might be really significant this month. And then also having the garden with the house is linked with private versus public issues and also social traditions. So these are themes here. So having the fox with the key has the energy of conflict between suspicion versus being open and caution about opening up. While having the fox with the garden has a distrust of the public and a caution about society. So these could be underlying themes for you for this month. So these are the cards that I've pulled for you. And I just want to do a little bit of musing about the true sky astrology as well. So obviously, like I said earlier, with the Sun and Mercury being in true sky Gemini, like they could easily be opposing your Sagittarian placements. So that is quite challenging energy. And once that moves on, so say after nearing the end of the month, the Sun will move into, Cancer, and then also Mercury will eventually go out of retrograde and eventually move into Cancer as well. You might find that some of those energies will not be as challenging, obviously. And then we do have, at the moment, we do have the South Node in Leo and Venus, which are about to conjoin. I mean, they are conjoined now. They're just a few degrees apart. So this could be trining your Sagittarius placements. So that could be some of the positive energy here with like the Ace of Cups and maybe even this King of Autumn. You know, there's the potential could be like a past love come back into your life, or even it doesn't have to be a person, something from your past that you loved kind of coming back. But it can have like that Leo energy to it. So it could be a bit, you know, maybe even a bit glamorous, or, you know, some it could even be linked with, because Leo is linked with like the children and love, and also gambling is also linked with Leo as well. So there could be something there. And also the North Node being in true sky Aquarius could be sextiling your Sagittarius placement or placements. So that could also bring in new energy, like new positive opportunities, because it's a sextile, not as strong as a trine. And then we also have a few things going on in Pisces, which could be challenging your Sagittarius placement or placements. So there was a bit of that. Even to me, like the Fox energy, it's a bit kind of shifty, and you know, it is a bit challenging, that Fox energy. So potentially it could be some of that energy. So having Neptune and Saturn, even Chiron in true sky Pisces, could be squaring your placements. And obviously they would bring all different energies with them depending on which one was aspecting your chart. And then we also have not only the Mercury retrograde, which is occurring now until the 23rd of July, but today on the 7th, Neptune is going retrograde. So not only could that be challenging your placements, but it's also going retrograde. So that kind of makes that more negative Neptune energies a bit more apparent. So be aware of, like, you know, more illusions and that delusional kind of energies at this time. And that is actually going to be retrograde until the 12th of December. And we do currently still have the Pluto retrograde, which started in early May, and that goes until the 16th of October. This month we have the new moon in true sky Gemini. Where I am, it will be on the 14th of July in the evening. It could be where you are like the day before, because we're like a day ahead, or approximately, to some places. Depending on where you are in the world, you'd need to look at your time zone to accurately look at when the new and the full moon is. The full moon where I am also is on the 30th of July, and that's about midday. And so it's in true sky Capricorn, and the sun will be in true sky Cancer at the end of the month there. So I'm wishing you all the best for your month ahead, Sagittarius. And if you've made it this far and you did get anything out of the reading, even if you just found it entertaining or interesting, if you could like, comment if you have something you want to say or ask, or share, or subscribe if you haven't already. If you already have, thank you so much for helping my channel grow, and then thank you also for returning. That's amazing. So I'm grateful for every single one of you. So take care. Bye.